So we will go to Nahata Dzil. We will start with Nahata Dzil again, and
Good morning, Ate. Shiketo Shine. Thank you guys for giving us the chapters the opportunity to voice what we need for our community. I think I feel very honored that you guys are asking for our opinion. Usually it's the other way around. We're begging for stuff. But thank you for that opportunity, and I think it's very important that you come down to the local levels of our chapters and the community, what they need, and you hit the right spot. I'm used to seeing Mr. Silverspoon, but and I just appreciate all you guys being here and helping us with what we need. I did give Margie some of our needs as far as our reports go for Nahata Dzil. Actually, my name is Hamas Horson, the administrative assistant for Nahata Dzil Commission Governance, and I've been there about 8 years now. So I'm pretty familiar with what the needs are around the community. The other commissioners couldn't make it because they had a meeting with O'Neill today, so I got sent up this way also. With our community, we have, it's kind of a mixed area. With our community, we have to work with all federal departments from ADOT to Apache County, BIA, NDOT, and a lot of our land is checkerboard, and then also I-40. So we've been requesting for different things at different levels, and generally none of them really happen. So I kind of hope that with us continuing to talk that some of these projects can move along, or money can be funded to the projects that are needed. I did submit a report that shows all of Nahata Dzil and the roads. We've been fortunate enough to have roads for all our community because our community is all in certain spots. So all these roads are paved already to our community except for our ranch land. So my house actually has a highway all the way to my front door. But that doesn't mean that some of the other people have that same privilege. So I'm thankful for that. On the first map here, I'd like to address some of the issues. When our roads were created back in the 90s, we were fortunate enough to get federal money to build our roads. The only thing that was lacking was the quality of the soil that was underneath the road, and then also the thickness of the asphalt is not as thick as it should be. So I imagine these roads would deteriorate soon, right away, not lasting as long as a lot of roads do. We do have a lot of wildlife in our region, and then we also have our trophy elk in the region also. And then some roads are muddy. Some of the community members from NDCG don't have paved roads to their houses. So that kind of starts where we're working at. Then we also have I-40, which goes east and west through our community. And then we have 191 that goes down from Sanders to St. John's. Then we have State Highway Route 61 from Witch Wells to Zuni. A lot of these roads mainly need repair and maintenance. On my report, I do show that we have my first page here. We have Highway 191 and State Route 161 that needs mowing on both sides of highway. Due to wildlife, it's hard to see around the tall bushes. And we have addressed the issues with the county and ADOT and Navajo DOT, but it seems like where one department ends, another one starts, but it's confusing where the roads are. One is responsibility of NDOT, another part is responsibility of BIA, another part is responsible for the county road, and then another part is ADOT, like the freeway. So we have all these issues, and where the line stops is like a line, and they won't mow past a certain their boundary. But even to get to that point, it seems like it never happens. So that's kind of what it is with 191. We have a lot of forage, and the bushes are tall. You can't see beyond that, and it creates a danger for the people that are driving and the wildlife that like to eat along the road because there's grass there. The same goes from Witch Wells to Zuni. That road needs to be mowed too. The bushes are about yay tall, and the road ends where the bushes start. So it creates a problem with the wildlife. And then there's also a culvert that drains from north of East Mill on Highway 191. That culvert ends right where the side of the road ends. So the culvert's it's pretty tall, and where that culvert ends is just a drop off, and it creates a danger for the drivers, especially during the winter. And we requested for side railing to be put up, at least to protect or extend the culvert to protect the drivers if they were to drive off in that area. And then on I-40, we have a lot of potholes. I think a lot of I-40 on the east side of Arizona needs to be repaired. There's a lot of potholes. We addressed it with ADOT before, and nothing ever happened with our meetings with them. So, but we do need major repairs. And if you drive to Gallup, where New Mexico starts, you see that they're repairing their roads, but I don't know what's going on with the Arizona side. Seems like they lack the funding from ADOT to think of I-40 as a priority, but there's a lot of truckers and there's a lot of traffic. I think it needs to be addressed. The other thing too is there's a lot of trash along that I-40 from the exits. We try to have ADOT clean it because it's their property, and it kind of creates a hazard for the civilians to be picking up trash where they're responsible to be taking care of it. So a lot of truckers pull off and they throw their trash along the sides. I wish they would maybe put railings up to where they can't park there, and they urinate and they throw their trash out and then they get going again. But it looks horrible for our community to have all that trash along the road, along the exits. And then we'll go ahead and go on. So a lot of it's mowing and a lot of it's maintenance and repair. I want to go to the second page here. I have Road 7240, and it goes on to 9402, which my brother and sister communities, neighbors like Hawk and Tessa Anna. This road is a problem because it is a bus route for our kids, and we're looking for that funding to help the buses and the kids and our families to get back home. So we barely have a little bit that touches in our community in Nahata, Dzil, but that's where it ends also. So it goes all the way up to Hawk and Tessa Anna. So we want to have our roads repaired because they're dirt roads, and our families live on that road, and they also get stuck a lot. So we want a safe route for our kids to go home. And then a lot of them don't have culverts where they're needed, so eventually people will get stuck on them. If anything, we'd like to have it paved with asphalt. Like you're saying, it's about $1 million a mile, so hopefully that $1 million will cover enough of it, at least for our kids to get home and get up and go to school again. Another one is a mile north of Sanders from the freeway is also dirt road. It's kind of dangerous. It turns at a straight angle, and a lot of people tend to go off the road there because of the angle. The angle of the road is not quite as straight, so it creates a hazard, and then it's hard to drive during the winter times. Another one here I have 7 miles south of Navajo is paved before you get to the hill. It's about 7 miles out, and the road is bumpy, uneven, and it's Route 2007. So I imagine that's probably from the poor soil, and then also from the asphalt not being as thick too, and it kind of gives that road. It kind of makes it rippled to where you have to. It's almost like a jump. Another one here, we'll go to Sanders area. We got Clay Mine Road, is all dirt, and that road is used by the sand plant, and that goes to silica sands. But that road is all dirt, and it creates a lot of dust for the community. It's sandy, a lot of dirt blows around. Sanders is kind of like a windy city. You got a wash that's there, and the wind blows east to west or west to east, so it becomes very dusty at times. But with this Clay Mine Road, it creates health issues for those that live in rural community, because all that dirt, they have to breathe it in, and on a daily basis. We try to, I know it's not silica sands issues, but it also is at the same time, because they're the ones that use that road to haul dirt. And we'd like to address those issues. Not too sure who's actually in control of that, but nothing's happening with it. Even if they were to pour tar on it or something to hold the dirt down, at least that would help the community with their health issues. The other one is going to be Nahata Boulevard on Highway 191. The road is uneven again and bumpy right when it connects to where they connect together, and I think that's probably from the trucks from Clay Mine Road that kind of messed up the road. The weight is too much, and the road is too thin. The asphalt's too thin, and the soil is kind of poor from the way it was constructed. So we've been requesting to have that replaced and repaired. So those are kind of the areas that we need to have repaired also. And I know you're saying that there's representatives or planners that are supposed to be meeting with the chapters again. And I'm not sure who our representative is for Nahata Dzil, but they're more than welcome to come and meet with us. A lot of these issues, I kind of agree with Leland. A lot of these things we say, but nothing happens. And then a lot of it we request for, but nothing happens. And I haven't seen anything happen since these roads have been constructed in our community. And then for I-40, that's an ADOT issue, but I wish the other departments that handle the roads would address this issue and make it a concern for ADOT to repair I-40 for us, because that's where our everyone travels. Everyone goes to Phoenix, everyone goes to Albuquerque. That's a major road for our community and the Navajo Nation, and I would like for it to be safe. The major thing too, like I was saying, just a mowing on the side of the roads. I know Apache County does their portion of it. Sometimes BIA will help with grading when the snow comes, but a lot of it for NDOT, I don't really see that support, but I would appreciate the support for our community, and also for 9402, the back roads for our children and our families and elders. Are also needed sign repairs. Like I say, our signs were up during the 90s, but a lot of them are missing, a lot of them are hanging sideways, a lot of them need to be replaced and need to have repairs. Another one is rural addressing. We don't have rural addressing. I know they funded some money for the bigger cities, but out in this, for our community, we still need that. And for emergency purposes, we have a lot of elders, and we can't find the addresses for them. Other than that, thank you for your time and your understanding and listening.
Right on the dot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, do we have some response? The packet that Mr. Horseman talks about is the ladies are making copies for all the managers so that everyone will have a copy of the presentation that's made. Thank you.
We'll start with Mr. Peterman, and then
Okay.
I'll have that or point again. She's transferring from another department, so she wanted to finish her project there first before she transferred over. So May 20th, you should have a planner for Fort Defiance Agency.
Oyate. So as far as mowing goes, NDOT really doesn't do a lot of mowing. It's not really in our routine maintenance plan. Although that, as you mentioned, ADOT and BIA and county, they should be doing the mowing. We'll contact them. We'll get with them on it. We're also working on 9402. You've been to our meetings. You know that we're trying to get that gravel all the way across. So,
Yate, good morning, everybody. My name is Calvin Castillo. I was with the BIA for 28 years. 1991, that started Isla, up to 2018. I was the 45th AD road engineer. So all these routes that you guys were talking about, I know the issues on it. 2018, though, the money got transferred over to INDOT. They hired consultants. So I was working with INDOT on how to prioritize these roads, though. I was giving advice on that. Out of the Naiguin administration, I applied for the director here, but they wanted to keep Mr. Silversmith. But based on your project, your contracting, management, construction management, and project management, he wanted me to help him move the ARPA money, that 1.2 billion. I couldn't follow any of the contract rules over there. The BIA conditioned me too well. So they wanted somebody else to move those other contracts. So I stepped away from there. I was going to do something else, and there he kept calling me. It's kindly, I need your help. So I'll call. All you guys are talking about is accountability of what you guys are asking for, what you guys want done in your communities. Back in 91, they had road committee. Out of each district, they elected 2 officials to represent your chapters. They'll put a priority list. The first list was a new construction. Second one list a rehab. In 12, in 110. Out of the new bridges though. Bridges and then that would the road committee chair would sign it, and we'll give it to DCD. That time they were the oversight, and they would put the top 5 from each agency council, road committee, and put that on their priority list. Ability in that your voice work. Today it's all different. RDC wants to run it, have your say. I don't know how many meetings you guys have a year with this type of concept, but when we had the road committee meetings, it was every month. Each chapter hold one. Okay, that was my job at the time. That TTIP, Bigia, I would give you the status of where it's at. From the beginning, right away. Whose property is it? Listen there. If it was if it was trust land, it was easy. Once you got into fee land and private land, just to get the consent of that. Consent, Even on the dirt roads that we pave, we used to take those roads off the inventory. Once the chapter resolution came in, they took it off the road inventory. That's how we used to work with the community. The right of way, you get issues. You need to know your classification of your routes. The first one, the major one, is freeways. That's where you have probably close to 50,000 vehicles a day. And then your truck traffic. Truck traffic is high. It used to be around 30-40%. Today, all you see is truck traffic on I-40. Your truck traffic is probably about 60-70% now. It dictates how to design the thickness of the road. Yeah. If there's a lot of road, there's probably only designed for 20% truck traffic. That's why it deteriorates right away. On the New Mexico side, they're doing a corridor study for the I-40. They said 73 billion just to repair from the Arizona to Albuquerque. And they're going to do it in phases just because that was designed back in the 50s. They were only designed to 25-year flood. That's where the BIA designs it. But now they have to design it to 50-year floods. So these culverts are going to get big and more expensive. They have to do that. Arizona side, I haven't been to any of those type of meetings yet. But so then after that, you got your rural routes. The main arterials. Connects from I-40 to where deliveries of services and goods off of I-40. Those trucks here, you need to go to Chinle, get diesel trucks over there, deliver food, medical supplies, everything. They thought the truck traffic, and that's how it's designed. How many is the truck traffic? The main arterials. So N12 is one of them. Then you start getting into your rural routes. They're just connecting communities, like from mini farms to Kientea. That's kind of like a connector route. So they have different designs and criteria how to build those routes. Although you get into your local routes, they're just mostly turnoffs to your residents. It's a different design. That's the stuff that NHA uses, those turnout designs. They only have 4-inch AB and a 2-inch asphalt. So the design criteria is different for each classification of routes. So you need to know your routes. Once you get into the county, who has the county, who has those routes? Yeah. The BIA, they follow the Green Book, Geometric Design Standards. They call it the Bible. They have to design it. I still say I. Still stick comes with the BIA. But they design it to this Green Book. And when something's wrong, there's an accident, everything. When there's an attorney involved, that's the first thing they're going to look at is that Green Book. Who constructed it? There's an engineer that signs off on it, the engineer of record. He's liable for anything that goes on. That's the stuff that these guys are going to start learning how of the liability issues. Is why I'm here to kind of teach them what we need to do and everything like that. Once you get to the counties, if you go to Navajo County doesn't have any routes. Their money, they call it HERF monies. There's I think anything built over 1978, it's eligible for their funds. So whichever you reside in, look at how they're spending their money for the local routes. Then you'll know how it's eligible, what you can. If you go on the New Mexico side, San Juan, New Mexico, they want right away, just for even a dirt route. So that's Nahata, East County. So that's what you need to learn. What Navajo DOT's following is local routes. It's really, it's not really a design standard. It's just to get people out of the mud. The BIA uses 82 manual, IAM 82 manual. And in there, road maintenance is not eligible for improvements. They only can improve a route 1,500 feet. That basically, it's tied up that way. That money, it's under the TPA. There's 15 programs under that TPA. First one is education, natural resources, road maintenance, bottomed. Since I started in 91, Navajo Nation only got $6 million for all the roads on the Navajo Nation. When I left in 2018, it was still at 6,000 or 6 million per year. So every cost of the cost, even the employees, their salaries gone up. Their equipment, they're over 25 years old. So just to maintain those equipment, it's probably costing them $5,000 to $10,000 a month just to maintain it, keep the oil change, the hajashiki just to replace that. ADG now, they're getting slow on that. So Kojiki, they supplement those, try to get more service. The Navajo Nation has routes as big as the state of Texas. And Texas gets like $400 million a year. We don't qualify under Indian Reservation roads no more. We should be funded like a state. So if you want to really advocate to get more services, we need to be treated like a state. We need to get with the state folks and say, hey, make these guys a state. Look at their inventory. We have so many bridges. That's all road maintenance money. Out of the first bill, highway bill that included Indian Reservation roads was iced tea. At that time, that first 5 years, the tribes got $275 million a year. EDOT, the Navajo Nation had 73%. We used to get $78 million for road construction. And at that time, road construction was only costing $6 million for 12 miles. So each agency had like 3 or 4 projects. And the Lido, Alaska, kicked our butts. Each village gets a vote, yeah. Navajo Nation only gets one. So based on that, the Navajo Nation only gets 8% of what it is now. It's at $550 million a year for now, and we only get 8%. He's only working with $54 million a year, and it's costing $4 million a mile now. So that's why I'm saying we don't fit in the Reservation Road program no more. We need to be competing with the states. And that's where I think what we're trying to do here to build these programs up to that. Be at the state level. We need road yards and other places, more to go out and work with you guys, more planners. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up too is fencing. The Navajo Nation is open range. It's in the code. You need to get your grazing officials to get it approved to fence it. And said we have too many the grazing committees. I don't want my cattle to be fenced. I want them to go that way. So they wanted us to raise the road pass, but it's expensive. So 80, your project moves back because the price went up. No, the road committee's down. So just remember that the Navajo Nation has codes One of them is that it's open range. The other thing is the weight limit. The weight limit on the reservation is only 76.8. 76,800 pounds. The state and the U.S. routes, they're at 80,000. They're at 24 tons. And here we're only at 21. The other thing too, the state code or the navigation code, the speed limit is only 55. So if you guys want to go to 65, you need to advocate to change that code to 65. I don't know, none of you go 55. So I hope I answered all your questions, and thank you.
Okay, now you see why he was asked to come back, and he's doing transit right now. But you know how the expertise in Navajo DOT management is very, very much important. It's vital that we share all of this information with you all, and that is one of the reasons why this outreach is here today.